Hey, what's going on, guys? For today's Mook review video, we're taking a look at another issue of Gundam Weapons. This issue is all about the RX-78-2 Ver.Ka, and S Gundam is the theme. Obviously, we're going to see a few other different mobile suits in there as well, like the XS and some other very cool mobile suits. So for you guys who are interested in checking out some awesome UC Gundams in this very nice collection of Gunpla modeling, let's go ahead and get into it here for today's video. All right, so right here on the front, we have this RX-78-2 here, modeled by Hiroyuki Komatsubara. This one is really beautiful just for a couple of reasons. Number one, it has like the slightest of weathering on it, like the slightest of weathering. That's almost invisible really, but here and there you can see like a little bit of streaking on it, which does look really nice. I like the fact that it doesn't have any markings here on the outside of the shield, which is usually like a pretty common area to put some EFSF markings or something else on there. So it just kind of makes it look a little bit more unique there. Anyway, looks really nice here for our front cover. On the inside of the jacket, we've just got the text without the image. Around here on the backside, as you guys saw there a second ago, we've got the XS Gundam here, the MSRP for 1,500 yen, so less than $15. Certainly very nice list price here, MSRP here for this. We've got about 133 pages in total length, so a pretty good length to it here as well. Let's go ahead and get to the front. Inside here, we've got a pull-out poster page here of the RX-78-2. This is the one from the front cover there, just in a different photo. Looking really nice on the back side here, as you may have expected. We've got the S Gundam there, also looking very nice. This one is by Keita Yagyu, another really awesome build here. Again, one thing that I've always liked about the S Gundam and XS Gundam, and I'm sure we'll see plenty more in here as well, is that subtle like splinter camo there. You can see in the blue areas and possibly red areas if we see that color version as well, or the hummingbird or anything else like that. I'm not sure exactly what all is going to be in here, but we're going to find out here. So we've got the illustration of the version Katoki RX-78-2 Gundam there, with notably the big markings on the shield, which, like I said, were omitted for the model that's on the cover. Here we've got our table of contents. It looks like over here, looks like about like the first half is going to be different builds based off of the Gundam Ver.Ka. The second half is going to be builds based off of the Master Grade S Gundam, basically. Let's see here. So right off the bat, this is once again the same model that was featured on the front cover, just a very different photography here this time. Obviously it's outside, getting some of that in very nice natural lighting. Huge photograph of that. It looks really nice there. Here we got a bunch more photos of that same model, front and back, side to side, all around, so you can see it from kind of every angle. And a really great reference if you guys are fans of this model, which is a model kit that I really am hoping we're going to get a 2.0 of at some point in some way. I don't know exactly what it'll be. It could be just like a 2.0 RX-78-2 Ver.Ka, which I think would be awesome, or it could be like an MGEX Ver.Ka, sort of like we had with the Unicorn MGEX kit of the RX-78-2 Gundam, sort of basically acting as the 2.0 without having the 2.0 label. I think it would be awesome, but the original kit is still really nice. It does still hold up really well. I mean, it's obviously not going to have all the bells and whistles of some of the newer versions of the Master Grade Gundam, but it does look really nice. And it doesn't look this good straight out of the box, of course, or even just with a nice paint job. So there is definitely some custom modification on this. You can see some work in progress photos down here, a little bit like comparing the original head to the new head, the new, not like new Gundam, but the newly remodeled head here, basically just with some added details. And you can see that around on the kit, we've got a number of spots where the details are added or details are enhanced. Definitely really nice, really great reference photos if you guys want to do some custom detail up on your Master Grade Gundam, either on the RX-78-2 Ver.Ka like this, or added to other Gundams. So this will certainly be good reference images for just doing some detailing up on some Universal Century Gundam kits, especially like 1 Year War Gunpla. Does look really nice. So a lot of really great ideas in there for sure. And I think, actually, interestingly enough, it does have markings on the shield. I'm looking at it over here and looking at this photo. You can see the markings on the shield though is just really super light. It's like a pink markings on the red shield, so it's very subtle. You can like barely even make it out here at all on the cover, but it does have some markings on there. As the photos continue, once again, here's another comparison image. You can see just how much he jacked up the height of this with the original model compared to this custom model. It's so much taller there, but again, all the details and everything on this, and we still got some more photos of that, so plenty of nice big photos for reference. That's really cool. Now this one here is modeled by Hiroshi Isea, and this one does seem a lot more closer to the line art, especially when it comes to the markings. So it's got like all the markings that basically are going to follow what we saw right here for that illustration. Color-wise, it does also look very close to that as well, where the other one was a little bit more kind of bright and vibrant in the colors, which I think, I don't know, I guess that's maybe kind of closer to the artwork. This one, the colors are a little bit more kind of true. I don't know if that makes sense, but some nice modifications on this one as well. You can just kind of see, again, let's see if we've got some more work in progress photos or comparison photos. Unfortunately not, but you can tell there's some modifications here and there, like especially up here on the shoulders, for example, is one. You can tell the head has been reshaped a little bit. So a lot of very nice additions. I don't want to say additions, it's not like stuff's added, but nice modifications to the kit there. All right, so here we've got the kit modeled as the G3 Gundam, this one by Naoki Kimura. One thing that I'm immediately noticing as a modification to this one, aside from just the color scheme there, obviously, which is in the G3 colors, but usually the G3 color is like a bit more like purplish bluish. This one's pretty much just grayscale. But the other thing that I'm immediately noticing is these lights added on the shoulders and ankles down here. Sort of like you would see on aircraft, where they have different colors on the left and right side. You can see them up here on the shoulders and then down there on the ankles there as well. Kind of an interesting addition. Something that you see sometimes, like from time to time. This one's like pretty pronounced. It has like a pretty, like, I immediately noticed that on the design. And so that's a kind of interesting addition onto there. Otherwise, I mean, just the kit looks really great here. I'm sure we've got some more. Here we go. We do have a little bit of work in progress photos over here. Again, I was just gonna say, I think we've got probably some more work done on this in terms of just like subtle modifications than is immediately apparent, but I don't know, maybe not all that much. It is just really nicely modeled though. I love these close-up images there. It does look really cool in the all gray color scheme, I will say. All right, here, this one is also by Keita Yagyu. This one obviously though in the original color scheme, and it does look like this is maybe a kit bash of like actually the gym custom and some parts of the Gundam Ver.Ka, and also maybe some like resin kit parts. I don't know if that's maybe from a B Club kit or something. But you can see definitely some differences in like kind of the proportions here. The way that the shoulders are, they're much like wider. The legs as well being much less stocky, just long and thin there, especially in the bottom half. So that looks kind of interesting. All right, this one also by Keita Yagyu, the Gym Type C here. It's the Master Grade model, which does share, I believe, some parts with the Master Grade Ver.Ka kit, although probably not a whole lot. But there's a number of older Master Grade kits that do share some of those same parts, the Gym Type C, and I'm sure we'll see some other ones in here, like the Gym Custom, for example. But this one does look very cool. Always love the color scheme of this one, and this is definitely more white. It's usually kind of a little bit more tan in color. This one's definitely toned down the tan quite a bit to basically just being kind of like an off-white and this dark navy blue there. But it does look really nice. Very clean, even though you do have the kind of old school style pre-shading on it. It still has this really kind of clean look to it. Whereas the pre-shading is meant to give it like a little bit of like kind of a realistic weathered sort of look. It does still look really sharp here. Basically like the production images you would see like for the box art or whatever. Here we have another Gym Type C, this one by Yuji Jam Kono. It's obviously being the space variety version of that with the different color scheme, kind of the more traditional, I guess, gym color scheme with the red and white. In this case, it's not like that kind of minty white like we see on a lot of like original gyms. But this one is just kind of straight up white, and it'll be a quite cool white here as well. We don't have a whole lot of photos, as the next page, as you can see, obviously goes on to the next build, so we really only have a couple here, but there are some comparison photos, for example, showing how the skirt armor and waist section kind of was extended there a bit. The shoulder armor and legs were also expanded, the legs lengthened, the shoulder armor enlarged, so some proportion changes here as well. Then we've got the Gym Sniper 2 White Dingo use here, so obviously long before we had the very nice Gym Sniper 2 model kit. This one and it's actually not even based off of the Gym Sniper, but instead just based off of the Gym Type C actually. So it's Master Grade Gym Type C conversion, which, as we were just talking about, is based off of the Master Grade RX-78 to Ver.Ka, or they're based off each other. They share runners anyway, let's just say that. I gotta say, while this kit does look really nice, I've never really been that much of a fan of the White Dingo color scheme. I don't know, what do you guys think about it? I know there's a lot of you who probably are. I know it's a pretty popular color scheme in this kit later once we actually got this as a P-Bandai model kit. When it came out, I believe it probably did sell pretty well. But I don't know, the color scheme's just kind of always been a bit boring for me. But it's a really cool kit here. I really like that. So let's continue on here to the next page. We do have a fair amount of additional photos of all the different weapons. It's got the half shield, this big backpack generator, which is pretty awesome. So in the backpack of the ground Gundam, he basically modified that to be this big massive generator there where the sniper rifle is hooked up to. That's pretty awesome. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. So that's always cool to see something you've never seen before. And we got a bunch of photos over here of the work in progress on that, which is also really cool to see. So there's a whole bunch of good, really nice reference material here in this issue for sure. The powered gym, I really like the spelling of powered there. Powered gym for sure. This one obviously not in the color scheme that we're used to seeing it in with the kind of cream and orange color scheme, but in a white and dark green color scheme, which is very interesting. And a very interesting weapon it's got over here in this photo, which we'll see some more probably on the next page, but here it is just with the bazooka. I gotta say, this color scheme does look really nice on the powered gym. I like it. And this weapon, it looks like that's probably all just like scratch built, kit bashed, this big massive cannon weapon. That's pretty awesome there. We do have a couple of really teeny tiny work in progress photos here in between, but that looks really cool. I do like the yellow band on the chest and on the shield there, the color band there to match the yellow accents of the vent in the chest and in the backpack and everything. Nice little yellow accents there to that design. Here we got the desert gym. This one in a yellow or like an orange and tan kind of color scheme looks really cool. I don't know if I've ever seen this design before. It's another one where I'm sure this is probably based on a Canon design, but it's a lot of those like MSV designs and stuff that you just don't really see very often. This one, I'm gonna guess, is probably based off of an MSV like official artwork, but don't know if it's one that I've ever seen before. It's got these big toes there. Obviously all of this added armor on there, which I'm guessing is supposed to be like reactive armor or something. Here around on the arms, everywhere, kind of the chest, the shoulders, the face even has this added armor on it. Kind of interesting. That's pretty cool. Also, again, some like custom, either like scratch build or modified weaponry there for that, which looks pretty cool. That's very interesting. Cool stuff. The RGM-79F gym. This one would be, it looks like kind of similar to like the Gym Semi-Striker, but again, a really awesome like custom made bazooka that it's got here. That's pretty cool looking. And then the modifications to the body and the shield and face. Again, it reminds me a lot of the Semi-Striker. Maybe it's just because of this photo here with the beam saber, but it's, yeah, really cool. Sort of like a, I don't know what to compare it to, sort of like a light powered gym, then also with that big massive cannon. So it'd be like if it were like a gym cannon where the cannon was just a handheld weapon that it could then drop and it's not actually attached onto like the backpack or whatever. Pretty cool. We got the gym SWAT. This one, again, I'm not sure if I've ever seen this before, and I don't know if it's like an actual Canon design or not. But it's definitely very interesting. Obviously a SWAT, if you were to envision a SWAT variant of the gym, this one is also based on the gym Type C by Moto Osumi. It's very interesting here. The shield, how it has like a somewhat translucent shield. I'm wondering what that's made of. It looks like it's probably just like resin cast, because it looks like you can probably see some bubbles in that. There's like some dots in there. I'm guessing that's just like bubbles in the resin maybe. So I'm guessing maybe just like scratch built that and then just recast it in like a clear resin and then painted it in like a smoke clear color to give it that somewhat transparent look. It's very interesting though. We've also got that for this ammunition cartridge there on the back skirt. It's also in like a semi-translucent clear. But this black color scheme also does look really cool there on the gym. It's multi-tone black, not being any like where I'm sure there's no true black on it. It's like a really dark gray and a really, really dark gray on there, but it does look really cool. Some interesting small little modifications here and there, but especially on the knee, is pretty interesting. And let's see, the RX-81 La light armor. Yet again with this one, this is a design, I think I've seen this before at some point. It looks like vaguely familiar, but again, not a design that I would be very familiar with whatsoever. This is a 1/100 scale scratch build by Miyuki Uehara. Certainly very different, and you can see it looks like it's like kind of one of two, so it reminds me a bit of like the Gundam 04 and 05. There's like the two sister units that are one's in red, one's in blue. Kind of similar situation to that, but very, very different design here for this one. Just looking at that, it almost looks like it's something that's like not even from Gundam UC, from some other different series. I don't know what even, like kind of looks like something from 00's, sort of. Like the feet remind me of like the Throne series, but I don't know. Other than that, I mean, it's a very strange mix. Definitely looks very MSV, just because of how different that is. All right, so that's the end of the based off of the Ver.Ka half of the book. This other half is based off of the S Gundam, so we're probably going to start with the S Gundam here. This one is modeled by Shimon Ogma. This would be the 100 scale master grade kit, of course, and it does seem like pretty much everything in here is 100 scale. I don't know if we're going to see anything in 1/44 scale. It doesn't seem that way. It's either based off of a master grade or fully scratch built for all of our contents for this. But the S Gundam, very cool. The S Gundam, as cool as it is, I mean, it's just not as cool as the XS, I feel like. But what are you guys' thoughts? Are there anybody out there who likes the design of the S Gundam more than the XS? I mean, I kind of like the fact that it's a bit more simple, and just in comparison. It doesn't have like how the XS is obviously very extra by name, but so I mean, I think I could appreciate the fact that the S Gundam is kind of a little bit more streamlined. I guess doesn't have like so much stuff going on. It's not quite as like massive and heavy looking, but that's kind of what I love about the XS Gundam, for that matter. So here's the XS. This one is a 100 scale master grade build by Matsumi Numamoto. Obviously, the Gundam Mark V was not a kit that existed at the time, so I'm guessing that's some sort of scratch build or like resin kit or something like that over here, kind of in the foreground. And I don't think we're probably going to see much more of that in here, I don't believe. But obviously, long before the P Bandai Master Grade kit came out. And on that note, really hoping that that kit will get a reissue at some point. But here we got some more photos of the XS Gundam. In this one, yeah, okay, it does. So just because of the lighting, I couldn't quite see the big boosters on the backpack. So I was wondering if it didn't have them, but it does. Here we can see in this different photography over here. So the big massive backpack on there, the more bulky legs and knees especially, and chest, like I was saying, is what I like about the XS Gundam that is just missing on the S Gundam, but it does look very cool. I also want to ask your guys' opinion. Do you like it in just the solid color, or do you like it with the splinter camo? Like I was saying earlier, I like it with that splinter camo on the colored sections of the build, but wondering if you guys would agree with that or not, or if you prefer it just without. But really beautiful build there of the MG XS. And we've got another one here. So this would be another custom build of that same kit, but with the camo like I was talking about. So I like this one more. I just think it just makes it so much more visually interesting. This one is by Keita Yagyu, once again, who seems to have done about like half the model kits in this Mook so far. Maybe not that many, but quite a few. This one does look really awesome. Yeah, I definitely like that subtle splinter camo there on the blue sections. Up in the upper half, I guess I should say. It's not usually, as far as I can remember, on the side skirts and feet, other areas of the kit that are normally blue. So it's not everywhere. It's usually just on like the shoulders and the big fuel tanks there, which is another pretty interesting visual aspect of the XS Gundam, having those big fuel tanks on the sides. It's always really cool. We've got a bunch more images here of this one. Some of the custom modifications on it. You can see a little bit of work in progress here and there. Some nice close-up detail images there as well. It's a big kit. If you guys have never built the XS Gundam, it's a quite large Gundam. So I think a lot of people end up getting surprised when they build it, just how big it is. If you've only built a few different master grades and just kind of they're all generally around the same size, there are a few that are particularly larger than others though, and this is one of them. So he even made the shoulders much larger. This is a pretty common modification to the XS Gundam, to make the shoulders really big, because like some of the original artwork have the shoulders like absolutely massive, and they're pretty big on the original kit, but I quite often see people custom modifying those shoulders to be even larger. So Here it is in G Cruiser mode, which is another really great transformation. I think it's one of the better looking transformed mobile suits, just because it doesn't look like a fighter plane or something like the Delta Plus, for example, when it's transformed, like looks like a fighter jet. It doesn't look like that at all, but it doesn't look like a folded up Gundam either. It does look like some kind of like futuristic, like space fighter craft anyway, right? So I think it looks cool. A couple more large photos here of that front and back. Really nice build of the XS. Then we've got the Zeta Plus C1 here next. This is the Master Grade kit by Shinichi Hosoi. Always love to see this Gundam photographed in this way, like with this space background, just because the color scheme is so nice. There with the blue glow of the Earth and the black space background. Just looks really cool. That's like how it looks on, obviously not in Wave Rider mode, but that's how it is on the box art. And just looks really, really cool. So, such a cool design. This is a really nice build here of this one. Obviously not as good as the custom build by our good friend Josh Dara, but hey, he tried anyway. Josh's build is just always so nice. Got the original Zeta Gundam in here as well. This one is, let's see, Master Grade Zeta Gundam and Zeta Plus use. So it's a kit bash of the Zeta at 1.0 and the Zeta Plus. Very interesting here. As last year, I think it was, yeah, sometime last year, early last year, when I did a review of the 1.0 Zeta Gundam. It's not bad. It's definitely got pros and cons for sure. But I think just like design-wise, I think it holds up pretty well. I mean, I think just the overall kind of look of the 1.0 Master Grade Zeta Gundam, it does still look nice. It doesn't do a whole lot very well, and it's kind of a little bit difficult to pose. So it definitely does have its issues, being a Master Grade kit as old as it is. I think the 1.0 came out 1996 or 98, if I remember correctly. Anyway, so it's like one of the first Master Grades that ever came out. So you would expect, you know, that it's not fantastic by today's standards, but I think it still, you know, holds up for what it is. We got the Rigazzi here, which also has, in more recent years, gotten a sort of quasi 2.0, 1.5 version of the Master Grade, which is really nice. The 1.0, I've not ever built like the full 1.0. I've heard that it's got some major issues as well, but the 1.5 like P-Bandai kit is great, so I can highly recommend it if you guys are fans of the Rigazzi design and want to build an MG. I think it looks pretty cool here in this color scheme. I'm not sure if I've ever seen it in this particular color scheme before, but it's more like very similar to like the Zeta Plus, but it has the addition of some little yellow accents in there as well. Honestly, I think I could do without the yellow accents, or having those in just like silver or something like that might look cool, just to kind of accent the basically monochrome blue and gray and blue-gray and white color scheme there. It does look pretty cool. We got some work in progress photos down here. And the Rigazzi Custom, of course, everyone's favorite because it has an AK-47 shaped beam rifle. So again, this was a Master Grade P-Bandai kit. I think did probably sell pretty well just because of the fact that it has that very unique rifle, which in this case looks like that's probably just scratch built there, as yeah, this is a conversion based off of just the regular Rigazzi. They're obviously modeled by Matsumi Numamoto again in this case. This one, I do have to say, I love that big giant purple backpack on it. Also is a nice touch, just to kind of the color scheme of it is nice. And then with the big purple backpack, normally I would say like, it's just one too many colors on there, but I think it kind of fits with the design of it being kind of 80s campy kind of in terms of its design and color scheme. But the kit looks great. The kit doesn't look like old school retro at all, the P-Bandai Master Grade kit. All right, and here we got a very pleasant surprise with the Sisquiede. Really hope that someday we'll get a proper model kit of the Sisquiede at some point. There is a small little model kit of it in, what's that, like a Candy Toys model kit line. I can't think of it at the moment. Other than that, we have the Master Grade. Other than that, we have the SD cross silhouette version, which is cool, as it's originally, I think, as I remember correctly, an SD design. But to have it in like full proportions in a model kit would be awesome. Either HG, HGUC, or like a RE100 would be super cool. This is a 1/100 scale scratch build by Hiroyuki Noda. So it's a really cool design. There's two different color versions, sort of like the Gundam Mark II, like a Titans and AUG version. There's two different color scheme versions of this, but it's such a cool design being a mono eye Gundam. Just the overall shape and proportions of it. It's just really cool, cool backpack, and obviously this gigantic, massive weapon is going to be a key feature as well. But it's a really, really cool one that I'm hoping, because of the fact that it's got a little bit of love in terms of model kits. Like I said, it has the SD kit, it has that Candy Toys model kit, and I think that does give me a little bit of hope that we may someday see like an HGUC or an RE100. I highly doubt we would get a master grade. That's probably not ever going to happen, but an HGUC or an RE100 type of kit I think could make sense, and I would be very happy. But this one as well, the Zeku's Y. So this is one that I don't think we'll probably ever get a model kit of in HGUC or in 1/100 scale at all, ever. Though it would be cool to get the Zeku Eins, which is not going to be in here apparently, but the Zeku Eins, which we do have an HGUC kit of. It would be cool to get a 1/100 scale version of that, which I think would make a lot of sense as an RE100 release. Honestly, it should have been made as an RE100 kit when Bandai did the 1.5 version of the S and XS Gundam release to kind of go along with that. I think would have been very cool. But c'est la vie. So far, no 1/100 scale Zeku kit, but we can hope that hopefully someday in the future we will see one. But this is once again a full scratch build by Daisuke Komaki. This is one that you occasionally see somebody taking a stab at doing a full scratch build of, and they're usually pretty awesome. Just a ton of work it would take to build something like this, because it's a pretty like huge and complex design, but that one looks really, really cool there. Okay, so the last part now here is going to be all in black and white. This is the articles section where it's going to basically go back through all the builds again with some more text. So this is going to be more text, which I believe is usually from the creators, the builders behind the models, talking some more about each of the models. So you'll have an additional photo in black and white here, of course, but an additional photo of the model paired with some text about the model. So it's all in Japanese, of course, but would certainly be really cool if there's a particular build in here, like say you really wanted to read some more about the Jim SWAT, you can read some more about that. So some more information about some of the different Gundams, all of the Gundams I should say, it's not some. I believe there's usually information about every single one of the builds that are featured in there. We have additional information here at the back about each of those until we get to the very end, where hopefully we'll also have a little bit of line art. I think is usually what's at the very end of these. It looks like, interestingly, no write-up about the Zeku Zwei there, it looks like, unfortunately. All right, so yeah, then we're into the design works where we have a bunch of line art. Now, another kind of unfortunate aspect of this is that we only have the credits page here at the back, so that means for line art we only have these 2 pages, which does have a lot of line art packed into here, but I really wish that some of this was larger. So I really wish that they would have, instead of cramming all this onto 2 pages, maybe had 4 pages so that they could have had some of this line art a little bit larger, because we have some really cool line art here of the Gundam Ver.Ka, really nice illustrations there of like the hatch open illustration of that, illustrations of some of the weaponry, the Jim Type C, some S Gundam and XS Gundam illustrations over here on this side, and the Zeta Plus. So a lot of really cool and interesting illustration work here that's unfortunately quite small. So that's it for this Mook. As always, guys, let me know down in the comment section what were some of your favorite builds from this one. I think there was some really great builds, particularly of the RX-78-2 Ver.Ka we saw like right at the very beginning, that I think will be really nice for some reference for some future projects. But that's going to do it for today's video, guys. If you want to check out some more Gunpla models for yourself, check the link in the video description to USA Gundam Store. Got all sorts of cool stuff there for you guys to find. And as always, thank you so much for all of your support. Liking the video, commenting, subscribing is all greatly helpful. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Until next time, hope y'all have a great day. Bye, guys.